And welcome back into 99.9 The Fan. This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly. Joining us here at ACC Kickoff, live from Charlotte, Garrett Shrader, Syracuse quarterback, started his career at Mississippi State. Big season last year with the Orange. Garrett, I want to start with that. Big season last year, and it seems like you're still a little bit under the radar. There's some ACC quarterbacks that are getting a little bit more of the hype. You look at Heisman odds and all those sorts of things. Does that bother you at all?
No, I mean, I don't live for the praise of man anyway.
Okay.
And I always have the underdog mentality, but I'm grateful for where I'm at. I love the school I'm at. I love the people that I'm with. And there's another team I'd rather be with. So, no, and I know who I am as a player, as a man, as a person. So, my identity is in God and, Jesus Christ is my Savior. So that's where first and foremost, and that's what I live for. But, just trying to be the best leader I can and be the best player I can.
There's no part of you that wants to do a little proven wrong? There's nothing along those lines as you go into this season?
Oh, I want to go out and put up big numbers and win every game that we can. No, don't get that confused. But no, I don't really care what other people say about me. As long as the people in our building, our organization, they believe in me and they trust in me, that's all I can ask for.
We're talking with Garrett Shrader, the quarterback of Syracuse. The people in your building are going to be a little bit different. The people in your backfield are going to be a little bit different this year from last year. Sean Tucker, one of the more talented guys we've seen come through that program, especially in recent years. A couple of new offensive linemen. What is that transition like, and how have you been working in new guys during the offseason?
It's been exciting. We're deeper than we've been since I've been here. More offensive numbers-wise and bigger guys. Everybody's getting stronger. Our receivers, they're getting so much better. We got a Rondé leading the charge and setting the tone there. And we got a handful of guys in that room that could go out and put up big numbers. So that's exciting to see. And then our tailbacks. I mean, we got LeQuentin back, and he's going to be a great player for us. And Juwan Price, and we got some other guys coming in too in that room. And so it's exciting.
One of the differences also is, we're from North Carolina in the Triangle. Robert Anae came down and moved our way to state. What will you miss most about Coach Anae running your offense?
I think just his personality is the biggest thing. He's a guy that guys love to hear talk and love to hear coach, but he's a different character for sure.
Different. What do you mean by different? Give us an example.
He's an older school guy. He's very. I don't know. Coach Beck's younger, can relate to us a little bit more.
All right.
It kind of in that aspect, but no, we wish the best for him, and he wanted to be closer to his family too. So, but we're excited about Coach Beck, and I think there's conspiracy that was the plan the whole time. But we're grateful for Coach Beck, and he's more creative, and he likes to do a little bit more, do things exciting, and we got a bunch of skill sets that he's going to do a lot of good things with this year.
Garrett Shrader, Syracuse quarterback, joining us here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly, live on 99.9 The Fan from ACC Kickoff in Charlotte. You brought up Coach Beck stepping in, but still running. I mean, it's kind of the protege handoff there, right? So a lot of the system's going to remain the same. What is it about that system that fits your game so well?
Yeah, I mean, just it's the way that we utilize our skill sets and what we're good at. So everything's catered to what we're good at. So he's not going to try to make you do something that it's not what you're best at. So we find out what we're good at, and then we build off of that and do that more and find more ways to get to those sets. And whoever our best personnel set is, the way we can be with them on the field for the most amount of the game. And it's evolved since last year. We had a totally different mindset on what we're going to be, especially with powerhouse running back Sean Tucker. And then we had the injury bug, and so we kind of had to get away from some certain things. And then but now our identity, look at what we did in the bowl game. His first game calling, we had over 470 yards, 460 yards of offense. And we didn't score as many points as we wanted to, and that was more on the player side. But, you just look at that against the fifth-ranked defense in the country at the time. And that was his first game calling as offensive coordinator. So
the other thing, you brought it up, right? Do what you do best. One of the things that watching you last year, I was most excited for is when you got your legs involved. And you're a very tough runner, right? You're not somebody that shies away from the contact. As a quarterback, we were talking off air about how I was a former quarterback. I know that coaches love when quarterbacks avoid hits, get out of bounds, get down. Has there been an emphasis on that? Because I have your stats here, 453 yards, but they could be described as tough yards, especially found the end zone almost 10 times. And that the last yards getting into the end zone are usually the toughest to get.
Yeah.
Is there any emphasis on protecting yourself a little bit more this year?
Yeah, absolutely, especially because I really couldn't run too much after the 6th game or the 7th game. And but yeah, avoiding hits when I don't have to. And I mean, I'm a quarterback. I'd rather throw the ball first and have guys let the other guys make the plays. But I don't mind getting tough yards. There's just a time and place for it. It didn't have to be every play.
And this, I'm going to ask you about a specific player, because watching him, looking up some of his stats, looking up how he's described, what do you call Anae Gadsden? Is it a tight end? Is it a big slot? Is it an H-back? What's the way you describe him?
Anae is a football player. That's what I mean. We were actually joking last night at dinner. He took 2 snaps at left tackle, and he had, I believe, 6 at running back last year and caught a touchdown playing running back. So, Coach Beck, and we use him, and he can do a lot of different things. So now we just put him in different spots, and it's really tough and stress the defense out. So it's fun.
And that's where I was going to go next. You brought it up earlier without even me having to kind of lead you that way. Coach Beck, you said creativity. He's willing to try some crazier stuff. When you have some pieces like you do, and Anae being one of them, how crazy are we talking?
Time will tell.
Yeah?
And,
are you like working on your hands? Are we talking that kind of crazy?
Oh, we've already tried a couple of those last. I think it gets it from Coach Anae, because that's one thing that we do. Coach Anae he's not afraid to call plays whenever, and you can see that in Coach Beck too. And he's going to shoot his shot, and that's players. That's what you want, and it's very easy to follow and be excited about playing when you got a coach calling like that.
And yeah, there's nothing worse than like rehearsing a trick play over and over again and it never getting called in a game. Yeah, you know exactly where I'm going with it. You're confident Coach Beck's going to pull the trigger?
Oh yeah, and absolutely. I mean, I think one game we called 3 trick plays last year. Not one of them. I don't think one of them worked, but we ran all of them. One of them ended up being a touchdown. But besides that,
yeah, so that worked a little.
And the
bit.
other 2 was like penalties, so it ended up working out anyway.
All right. Well, once again, that is Garrett Shrader, Syracuse quarterback, joining us here at ACC Kickoff. Garrett, we appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.